Greetings, Magic the Gathering fans. Today on the channel, we're going to talk all about the very first Magic card that was ever printed in foil. And that card is the Lightning Dragon that you see here. It was a Urza Saga pre-release foil promotional card that was issued on September 26, 1998 to Magic the Gathering players who are participating in the pre-release events for Urza's Saga. So way back then, I think if Pokemon was around, I think they were doing foil cards, but otherwise, sports cards were the only other competitor to Magic the Gathering that had been doing some of these fancy foil treatments before Magic did. So they were going to experiment on the Urza Saga set before they launched a full foil set when they got to Urza's Legacy. I saw a great video by Rhystic Studies a couple weeks ago chronicling the 25-year history and evolution of foil Magic the Gathering cards. I will link that video in the description below if you want to check out Rhystic Studies' video on foil cards. It's quite impressive if you're a fan of foil cards. It covers from the start to modern day foils and what the differences are. But it does mention that the very first card ever printed was this Lightning Dragon. So I decided I would make a quick little video just about this card and show you what it looks like. I think it's a great addition to any Magic the Gathering historian or collector or player's collection just because it's the first of its kind to be printed with foil. Also back in the day there were judge promos that they gave DCI judges that looked just like this. They all had the shooting star symbol at the bottom in foil. So that was one of the things that Wizards was doing to make foil cards back then. The pre-release promos have this foiling on the date and the set symbol. I think they still do the gold stamp in addition to the full card foil treatment. But the judge promos were another promotional that they gave out once the Urza Saga set was released. So this was the first, but the judge promos were next. So Gaia's Cradle, which was an Urza Saga card, those judge promo foil copies trade between $2,000 and $3,000. So they're very iconic collector's pieces, as well as arena promos. They're similar to these. The arena promos were given out as well, and those cards like Karn Silver Golem trade for $100 to $150. And finally, JSS promos is the last type of promotional card that was released around the Urza Saga set. And cards like Sarah Avatar, they trade for $40 to $60 in the JSS foil promo. Then, when the Urza's Legacy set came out after Urza Saga, there was a block of Urza's Saga, Urza's Legacy, and Urza's Destiny. So Urza's Legacy and Urza's Destiny, the entire set was foiled, but you could only get like 1 or 2 foils per box, and the rarity of the rare foils was extremely rare. So they were just very exciting cards to open when you opened up a pack and you got a common foil or an uncommon foil. These Joyra's toolboxes, for example, are uncommon foils from Urza's Legacy set, and they have the shooting star on the bottom, which I think is a nod to the Wizards logo at the time. It had like the star was dotting the I and then cascading over the rest of the word Wizards. But so this shooting star foil just became iconic. When you opened up a full foil card in your pack, it just really stood out and it was really impressive. So these are some copies of Joyra's Toolbox. They are subject to clouding and condition sensitivity issues. So over the years, if they're not stored properly, they will get a little cloudy on the surface and affects the condition and the value of the card. So you want to make sure you keep them sleeved and in the right humidity controlled environment. The second thing that is not conditioned, but it is very common, is something called cut line foils. And that's when the foil sheet on the card gets, at Wizards, when they run out of the foil and then they just print over the entire card. You can see where on this version of the Lightning Dragon, there's a missing foil section at the very bottom, and that's different than the other card that has the full layer of foil on there. So that's very popular for misprint collectors that want to collect the cut line foils. They could come You could find those in any spot on the card. It just depends on where the foil sheet ran out. But that is something I wanted to point out as well. And then what I think I'm gonna do is put those in my foil binder. If you are a fan of the channel and have seen me put together the Modern Horizons 2 foil set that came out a year or two ago, this set was iconic because it used retro frames to look like older Magic cards, and they all had the shooting star foil, which is very reminiscent of the early Urza's block foil cards. So I think that's the #1 reason why I collected this Modern Horizons 2 foil set. You can see cards like Misty Rainforest was reprinted with the retro frame. You can see it's the full foil and it has the shooting star, and it's very nice. It looks just like the Joyra's Toolbox from Urza's Legacy, same kind of foil treatment, and it looks very similar to the Lightning Dragon pre-release minus the gold stamp date. But you can see where the shooting star is changed in shape a little bit. It's a little bigger and smaller. It's not as long and thin as the newer ones, but it's basically the same shooting star that they printed back in the day, and I think that's why a lot of people like myself collected this Modern Horizons 2 set. The earlier condition cards too also held up better against curling. For whatever reason, the card stock or the way that they printed the foil on the card generally tends to be flatter. So even these Urza's Legacy cards are still pretty flat for being 25 years old. And so collectors will pay a premium for the older foils, like the 7th edition foils. And that's why a lot of the newer foils, like the Modern Horizons 2 and Commander Legends especially, are losing value because they don't hold up over time. And so the Modern Horizons 2 cards aren't so bad, but the Commander Legends cards that we opened up recently are just pringled beyond all. So I'm going to, the last thing I'll do on this video is sleeve these up and put them in my shooting star foil binder so that I have them. I do think, you know, like I said, these Lightning Dragons are great in cubes. If you are if a vintage cube and you have a spot for a 4/4 dragon, why not make it a Lightning Dragon? I think the regular cards, these trade for about $5 on TCG Player. The foil copies go anywhere from $50 to $75, depending on condition. And then again, when you're looking for condition, you want to look for it's flat, it's not played, has no cut lines. Maybe if you want a full foil, and no clouding. You don't want any like surface discoloration from the age of the card. So I'll put these in there as well. And then recommend you check out Rhystic Studies video on foils. I found it very informative, and that's where I got the idea to talk about Lightning Dragon. So give this video a thumbs up and a like if you enjoy foil collecting. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want updates in your feed every day when I list videos and shorts. And I appreciate all the comments below too. I'll answer your questions if you have about collecting, set collecting, foils, Magic the Gathering, history, you name it, I'm your guy. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.